I just wanted to come give you guys a hug. But this insane Schwarber take made me look at some numbers and think about Cap's brain had fallen into the Waddle and Sylvie show, which was scary. Is he one of the most clutch athletes the city has ever seen?
Yeah.
If I had like a giant box of money, I would have felt confident last night pushing it all in after about pitch 7 or 8 of a 13 or 14 pitch at bat.
Why did you live bet it?
You know what? It was too lazy. But if I could, and I didn't realize you could live bet the WBC. You can live bet everything, I know. But that would have been a good moment to push it all in after watching him do it. He was so locked in on you, Darvish.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what happened? You had to be sitting in your chair saying to yourself, he's going to get him.
The only thing that I was mad about was that there was nobody on. That was it, because I knew, you knew he was going to do this.
Line to right field. Kondo turns. There it goes. Straighten it out. Second deck. 1-run game.
Hoodie texted me and said, if anyone would give up a Schwarbomb, it's Darvish.
Yes.
And I texted back, I'm fully erect.
And did he stop the conversation at that point? He didn't know what to say. He's like, I'm out. I don't need any of this.
Two laughing, crying emoji.
Yeah, right.
Like, you know me, I love Schwarber. I've always loved Schwarber.
Listen, and first of all, I mean, top 10 and being very conservative of our favorite guests to be on the show.
Yes. Yeah,
top 5, top 7, top 8. I don't know.
You're nice to us, and then you get the benefit of the doubt.
He's just a great guy.
He's a dude. He's just a guy's guy. And I always gave him the benefit of the doubt because
when you were the general manager of the Cubs back in the day,
$9 million was it. And he struggled. He struggled. And when you come back from a devastating knee injury, first of all, you're a rookie and you get called up midway through the season in 2015. And then in your first postseason game, you hit one in the river in a win or go home game. Your first postseason game as a rookie. You're the Cubs, and you're notorious for choking as a team, and you're on the road in Pittsburgh, and you hit one into the river in your first postseason game. You're like, this guy's built different.
Yes.
And then in the Cardinals game, your rival in the elimination game, you're trying to eliminate the Cardinals in game 4. He hits one on the scoreboard, and you're like, this dude is different. And then in 2016, he collides with Dexter Fowler early in the season. Devastating knee injury, one that should keep a guy out for a full year. We watched Derrick Rose sit out for 18 months with a knee injury. Schwarber comes back in 6 months.
Yeah. Different sport, but yes.
Different sport without playing in a baseball game.
Yeah.
And then go from not playing in a baseball game in 6 months to playing in the World Series and facing live pitching, and he hits .412. Not only does he hit .412 in the World Series, but he starts the game-winning rally in Game 7 in the 10th inning after the Cubs have just choked that lead away, and he starts it off with a single. Like, those things, for then on, he's already like my baseball hero. So with all the struggles of him leading off, with all the struggles of him hitting 200 or 189 one year, whatever it is, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. And Jed lets him go for $9 million. And I get, again, I acknowledge that he struggled. That's peanuts on a guy that you drafted very early, who's done a lot for you.
Who's got the clutch gene. However you define it.
And read the stats. Compare it to Trout, too.
Yeah. Now, listen, I think it's unfair to say, well, Mike Trout's not a clutch player. And it's his fault that the Angels have only been in the postseason once since he's been there. Mike Trout has one postseason hit. I believe he's 1 of 12. It was a home run, but he's got one postseason hit. Kyle Schwarber in the postseason is 40 of 165. With 15 home runs, 27 driven, and 33 walks. He hits .242 over 52 postseason games. His on-base percentage is .371. His slug is .527. His career postseason OPS is .900.
900
Against the
postseason OPS.
In the biggest moments, under the biggest stages, under the brightest lights against the best teams, his OPS in the postseason in 52 career postseason games is 899. He's got 15 postseason home runs. He had 6 last year in the Phillies' run to the World Series. He had 6 the year before playing in Boston after he'd been traded.
It's incredible. Guys don't do that. One postseason after another. Where do you have the tweet about all the different series?
Somebody sent out the tweet yesterday, and I know it had been going around, but at this point now, he's hit a home run in the AL wild card game, the NL wild card game, and ALDS and NLDS and ALCS.
The NLCS,
the World Series, the World Baseball Classic, and the World Baseball Classic Championship game. He's hit a home run in all of those. I mean, I can't imagine there's anybody else that's done that, right?
No.
I mean, and again, the World Baseball Classic, I don't know how long it's been around, but, it's a small sample size for that particular instance. But look, when you talk about clutch players or guys that are built for big moments, I mean, I'm sure that we're living in the moment right now, but I can't remember anyone who's done it as well and as consistently as Kyle Schwarber in the last almost decade.
That's Mr. October stuff.
Yeah.
It's Mr. October stuff. And a lot of guys have bad postseasons. I remember Frank Thomas had an 0-for-13 postseason. Guys, we know, small sample size, guys struggle. I think someone we know just called in too. It's our guy, Nick Friedell, who I believe is going to be at the anniversary party on Friday as well. Nick, what prompted the call in?
Just call in and I'm worried about you guys because just because you're in the cap time slot doesn't mean you have to have an insane cap topic. And when I wake up, as I usually do, and hit the app and start listening to my friends,
I thought you were saying as I usually wake up, I would say I hope so.
I mean, let's hope so. Let's hope that it keeps going till Friday. I mean, I just wanted to come give you guys a hug, but this insane Schwarber take made me look at some numbers and think about cap sprayed and fallen into the Waddle and Sylvie show, which was scary. Is he one of the most clutch athletes the city has ever seen?
Yeah.
We know what he did in 2015. We know what he did. He was awesome.
2016?
For all the – okay, but 2015, 9 games, 5 home runs, the Schwarber bomb off the Budweiser side, 889 slugging percentage. Awesome. 2016, he had the hit that started it all late in Game 7. We were all there. It was incredible. But I went back, I looked at the numbers. He had 17 at-bats, 412 average. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, guys, 2017, a 176 average, a 300 on-base percentage. 2018, 1 at-bat, 1 strikeout. He was terrible for the Cubs.
They all were. They all, like I said,
2020.
Waddlegate, he's a 900 OPS guy for his
52
career.
games in the postseason.
Right, and I'm saying so much of that came in 15 and 16 and what we remember in the city.
No, it also happened in 2021 and 2022, Nick, with Boston and Philly.
Hang on here. 2020, 4 at-bats in the postseason, 3 walks and a strikeout. 2021, 11 games, a 205 average, a 286 on base percentage. 2022, 17 games, a 218 average, a 392 on base percentage. You guys were talking
392 on base percentage is great. He's not a batting average guy. You don't measure stuff by batting average anymore.
I get it, but I understand that. But we are what you guys are saying is the city has never seen a clutch guy like Schwarber. What? Schwarber had some fantastic moments while he was here. But to knock down Jed Hoyer for not spending $9
million,
Nick, I think you are in a very small group that believes that was a defendable position by the Cubs front office. Not only that, but you didn't even tender him, so you got nothing in return for him.
Have I forgotten some gigantic Schwarber tear in those last couple of years? He was horrible. What?
You just
I don't even believe that we're talking about this.
You name me other guys who are more clutch in Cubs history than Kyle Schwarber.
In Cubs history, Ryan Sandberg, Mark Grace,
no. Give me
Ben
Ryan
Zobrist
Sandberg.
in
No.
Game 7.
Give me their postseason numbers. Mark Grace had a good postseason in '89, but like not you're out of your mind. Like they didn't win a series. '84, they didn't beat the Padres. They lost in 5. They choked. '89, they lost to the
Kyle
Giants.
Schwarber was terrific in 15 and in his moment when he came back in 16. What I'm saying
he
is
did one of the most heroic things in 2016, Nick. Like what he did in 16 is almost unheard of in sports, coming back from a knee injury, not seeing live pitching, and doing what he did in 4 games. Without him, Cubs fans don't have the World Series memory.
Well, and if he were standing with me at the bar, I'd buy him a beer and tell him you did fantastic, and it was great to watch. But to oversell the last few years there, I mean, he went down to Iowa. He was awful. Like, if we're saying he had one of the greatest clutch moments that we've seen in Chicago sports history.
I think,
great.
Nick, I don't think you can poo-poo, especially on the biggest stages under the brightest lights against the best teams. I don't think that you can diminish collectively what he has done in the postseason. Like there are others that may have better numbers, but there are others, very talented players that can't even sniff what Kyle Schwarber has done in the postseason. And it's the moments, it's the time, it's the place, it's when things happen that also all that stuff has to be factored in when you ask the question, does this particular player have the clutch gene?
Like Nick, you have some nerve. You have some nerve to beat up Zach LaVine, and rightfully so. And then come on here and then beat up Kyle Schwarber, who has done it on the biggest stage, who has won everywhere he's been. You email Jacob Nitzberg and you compare his postseason numbers historically with some of the greats in baseball, and you come back on Friday and join us, and you compare them, okay? That's your homework project.
Our time on Friday talking about this stuff.
All right, we got to run
the things that we can hit on.
All right, we're up against
this is
it.
The problem.
You're the problem.
We're talking about such a small sample size in Chicago. Has he had some great moments for the Phillies last year?
Do you want to know what a small sample size is? Mike Trout's got 12 playoff at-bats, and he's got 1 hit.
Yeah, but I don't care about Mike Trout because he doesn't play in Chicago.
I know, we're giving it context. You're giving it context.
We got to run. You know what a small sample size is? Your brain. No.
Yeah. Hey, the club has 3. We know who's in the club. It's Schwarber, Levine, and Cutler. We love falling in love.
All right, get out of here.
He's nice to us, though.
See you, Nick. All right, get out of here. Nick Friedell. Jimmy Butler's in that club, too. He comes through in the postseason. Get out. Nick Friedell. Crapping all over Kyle Schwarber. Shot or no shot coming up next. Waddle and Silverman. Get him out of here, Jay Moore.